Hello and welcome to We Play RPG Maker. My name is Blue Phoenix, and this is the first in our series of Dev Diaries for our game made for RPG Maker VX called Gardens of the Moon. It's based on the novel by Steven Erikson. I'm joined here today by the project's lead developer, the Nameless One. How about you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the project?
Well, I'm the Nameless One, and I'm the head developer in Gardens of the Moon. Gardens of the Moon is based on the novel by Steven Erikson in the Mouth and Book of the Fawn series. Very complex series, very complex, and we're going to reflect that with some interesting gameplay and very grand scale.
Can you tell us what part of the project you are most excited for?
I'm really looking forward to the cutscenes. There's some incredible stuff in this book, and we need to do it justice. It'll be really difficult, but if we get it right, it'll be absolutely amazing.
Any specific parts that you want to tell our listeners about?
Well, there's a certain scene. I won't tell you much, but it involves 5 dragons and 1 man fighting. And it goes on, and it's amazing. I'm not going to tell you who the man is, but 5 dragons belching fire and pure darkness as this man just walks on as his skin burns away and keeps marching forward.
Now, if they've read the book, they already know who that is, though.
Oh, yeah.
So can you tell us a bit about the gameplay? What sort of features are you looking to include in Gardens of the Moon?
Well, we're looking to make we have several ideas for battle sequences, because in a lot of games, battles become mash A until you win. So we've decided to make it so that states, and will have a huge impact in this. The states that you assign yourself are stantive, like offensive, defensive, evasive, and they give you different boosts, buffs, and debuffs depending on the type of stance. And certain moves are only accessible when you're in a certain type of stance. So you have to think about that kind of stuff during the game.
Now, so if you're, say, what about a mage? They don't really do offensive, defensive. How is the magic going to work in this game?
Well, in the Mouth and Book of the Fawn series, there's magical realms called warrens, and each mage can channel a different warren into themselves. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the same idea of states, but instead the mage uses a move to access their warren, which inflicts their state, and once they're in that state, they can use moves pertaining to that warren. Like if they have a warren of darkness, when they open that warren, they will be able to use all the different moves related to it.
So, can you tell us what characters will be in the book and what you're excited for in terms of characters?
Oh, there are lots of characters in this book. We have 19 playable characters, possibly more, but those are the ones we're really focusing on. There's also tons of non-playable characters that are going to impact the story. Some characters I'm really excited about. There's one character whose name is Animender Rake. You'll be hearing a lot more about him, but he's an amazing character.
Now, how are players going to be able to keep track of the rich history and lore and all the different characters that they encounter within this game? I mean, obviously it's going to be very deep and expansive.
Well, we're thinking of having a codex script where it contains information on history, magic, characters, story, the world.
So that means even if they haven't read Gardens of the Moon, they can get into this game.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Now, how much of the game has been developed so far?
Well, we've got some of the system developed, and we've got a lot of our plans. We obviously have pretty much all the script done. However, it's still very early in development, but things are going on at a pretty good clip.
Can you tell them what sort of worlds and locations they'll be encountering in this game?
Well, there are several locations. There are realms made of ash. There's a large city lit by underground caverns of natural gas, so it's full of blue fire. And there are rolling hill lands, plains, a rather large lake, and there's a whole host of locations.
Now, what tile set are we going to use to accomplish these different locales?
Well, we're going to use many tile sets. We're going to draw heavily from Mac. We're going to use some RTP, and possibly some tiles from Nightwalker. His tiles are pretty good. He doesn't have a lot of them, and they're not commonly used, but they can add a little extra. We're also going to pull tiles from various sources, and we'll obviously have to recolor and edit them.
Now, what about the characters? How are we making the characters? And, like, the character sprites.
Oh, well,
like
for character sprites, a lot of them they're based on the Famitsu generator, and then after that, we go in and we Franken-sprite them, and we mess around with it. We add in arms, we add in legs, we recolor the skin, we change the eyes, we change the hair, we mix and match different parts to get us the character we need. And so it's not just generic Famitsu generation.
Most of this stuff isn't going to be RTP, and one thing especially that's going to have almost no RTP will be the music. The music we're pulling from a lot of different sources. One of our favorites is a guy by the name of Maestro Rage. You may or may not have heard of him. It's not music that you've heard in RPG Maker games before. There's going to be a lot of great stuff here. You're actually listening to a tune right now. This isn't Maestro Rage, this is by a guy named Breed. But, yeah. Alright, thank you, Nameless One, for joining me for this Developer Diaries. We're going to have a lot more content coming up. You're going to see some great stuff in the future, and we're gonna show you a little sneak peek of the first 10 seconds of the game, and that will wrap it up for this version of Developer Diaries. Thanks for watching.